From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. RBC is expecting the Bank of Canada will stay on the sidelines rather than return to rate cuts amid a trade war. Chief Economist Frances Donald says there are still risks that tariffs and the wider supply chain strain will drive inflation higher in the months to come. She says that will worry the Bank of Canada after only recently taming inflation coming out of the pandemic.
Canadians have been through a very serious affordability crisis, and this is a Bank of Canada that's likely going to lean on the side of wanting to prevent a second round, even if it's smaller.
The Bank of Canada is widely expected to hold interest rates steady again at its next decision on July 30th. Alberta's premier is demanding an apology for a report that blames her government for its role in the destructive 2024 Jasper Park wildfire. The report, compiled from a survey of frontline responders and staff, suggests that provincial officials impeded firefighting efforts with information requests, issues management, and unauthorized interference in decision-making. Danielle Smith instead blamed the federal government for not asking sooner for provincial help.
I think that it is important to understand that this was a federal fire. It took place in a federal park, and it was a Federal Parks Canada response. We stayed on standby awaiting their request for supply and support, which they gave to us, or which they ultimately did end up asking us to do, and we moved into unified command only after the fire had breached Jasper and burnt down 1/3 of it.
Smith also criticized the report for not accurately conveying Alberta's contributions to the ordeal, including $181 million worth of support in disaster recovery funding. With another record-setting wildfire season underway, the federal Natural Resources Minister says his department is setting aside $11.7 million over 4 years to create the Wildfire Resilience Consortium of Canada. Tim Hodgson says the proposed agency will connect domestic, international governments, the private sector, wildfire scientists and experts, and affected communities to share knowledge, science, and technology to better fight wildfires. U.S. President Donald Trump has signed the Genius Act into law, setting up new regulations for a type of cryptocurrency called stablecoins tied to assets like the U.S. dollar. The law introduces consumer protections and aims to boost confidence in the crypto industry. Senior economics fellow at the Brookings Institution, Aaron Klein, says one of the things it doesn't do is shelter investors who use it.
Stablecoins, it's important to understand they may masquerade as a payment instrument, but 90% of trades in stablecoins are about trading in other cryptos.
Trump is calling the move a step towards cementing U.S. dominance in global finance and crypto technology. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Calgary Stampeders continued their dominance of the CFL Friday night. Quarterback Vernon Adams Jr. completed 16 of 24 passes for 267 yards and 3 touchdowns, leading the Stampeders to a 41-20 victory over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Calgary improving to 5-1 and sitting alone atop the CFL's West Division. Over to the Diamond now, where Chris Bassett and 3 relievers combined on a shutout as the Toronto Blue Jays returned from the MLB All-Star break with a 4-1 win over the San Francisco Giants. The American League East leading Blue Jays improved to 56-41 on the season. In some Canadian Premier League footy action, the Hamilton Forge beat Victoria's Pacific 2-0, while the Ottawa Atletico posted the same score and win over the Halifax Wanderers. And in the Northern Super League, Montreal Roses tallied 2-1 to beat AFC Toronto. The new Pro Women's Soccer League will play its inaugural championship game at Toronto's BMO Field on November 15th. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.